r/AskReddit asks, what's a little thing you do to make the world a better place? Pick up trash. And refrain from littering. So simple, yet so many people just can't be bothered. Clean up. Helps a lot. Anytime I go walking through a park I pick up some trash. It's only a handful or two typically, but I figure it adds up over time. I used to leave my parking permit on the permit machines if I had an early day at community college so someone else didn't have to pay. Turns out it started a trend and people still do it. I can't take the full credit though, I think someone accidentally bought two and didn't realize it so they left it at the machine. I used to do the same with bus tickets. The bus tickets in my area used to do paper tickets that were valid all day. So when I got off the stop near my flat I'd leave the ticket in the bus stop for the next person. The tickets are all on an app now, or online monthly payments. Cut all 6-pack rings. My family does this, even if it's going in a bag, just in case. I always go on the side of the sidewalk closest to the cars when I see an elderly person or someone with a baby. I doubt anything changes really, but I like to think I'm being selfless. As someone frequently with a baby, I would notice and appreciate this. I say thank you, sincerely. Simple but effective. My husband always says you're welcome whenever anyone thanks him for anything. You wouldn't believe how often we skip it until you hear him. He holds a door open and someone mutters thanks, he says you're welcome. He hands me a dish I'm reaching for and I just thanks, and he says you're welcome. Always does. No matter how small or inconsequential. Slight clarification, he never says no problem or anything else. I don't know if I buy it, but I did hear once that no problem has an unspoken connotation that it, the action, could have been a problem. I personally do like my pleasure, and I use all of these. My husband, though, only says you're welcome. Try it for every little thing, you'll be noticed, and no, it doesn't come across as insincere or overly formal, he definitely is not that. Lol. Own up to my mistakes to those it directly affects. Edit, affects. I read this and think video games lol. But I do the same. If I'm wrong I'll admit it. And if someone thinks I'm wrong I hope they will speak up and say so. I'd rather know certain things I'm doing are wrong than so something and keep doing it if there's no backlash. I always make sure to be overly polite to people serving me, whether in a restaurant or a shop, and I always tell them to have a good day when I leave. Having worked in retail I know a simple how are you, thank you or a have a nice day can mean a lot, especially on a bad shift. I was raised to have good manners and I'll be damned if I don't flex them at any opportunity I have. It always surprises/saddens me that other people can't be the same way. Take care of my things. We didn't have much while growing up and my mother always believed in quality. She would buy things she knew we would use a lot. I have the same pencil case from 6th grade, I'm in grad school now. I have linen bed sheets, water bottles, fountain pens, mugs, and even some clothes that I've used for over 10 years. This helps me consume less, in turn creating less waste. I feel like we should strive to reduce, before reusing and recycling. It blows my mind how some people go through so much crap because they see it as disposable or it's out of fashion. I've had the same backpack since 2007, the same duffel bag since 2004, and the same laundry hamper basket since 2000. I also use the hamper laundry basket to put my groceries in when I go to the store, so I'm not using bags, either. I'm also in grad school and I've got 10-plus-year-old binders and the same ruler I've had since middle school. My dad hammered it into me that you take care of your stuff. It was annoying when I was younger, but once I started paying for all my own stuff I was so glad he was like that. If you really don't think someone is okay, never ask them when there are other people around. Talk to them privately. And come across as very understanding. When someone gets cut off repeatedly in conversation I make an effort to make eye contact with them and say go ahead. I'm listening. Or something along those lines. As someone who is constantly interrupted when speaking by her closest family members, I appreciate you. There's not many people who even consider this as an option. Not being listened to sucks. When I remove an item from a grocery store shelf, I move the same item forward to replace it. ESP top shelf items. Short people like me appreciate you. Donate blood products. Your body's constantly making red blood cells and platelets, and it's harmless, and possibly healthy, to donate. I started with whole blood because, well, that's what donating blood means to people. 15 minutes of time, eat a cookie, get a sticker. After I did that for a few gallons, I was asked if I'd consider donating platelets. They have to be used within 5 days of collection, so there's always a constant need, but it takes about 2 hours to do it. A single pint of blood doesn't have enough for a platelet transfusion, so the donor ends up hooked to an apheresis machine that'll centrifuge the blood, remove the platelets, and return the rest of the blood back to the body. So I end up watching Netflix for 2 hours on Saturday while doing another triple donation, every other week, up to 24 times a year. It's like Spider-Man's quote in Civil War, "When you can do the things I can, but you don't, and then the bad things happen. They happen because of you." Obviously donating like this isn't saving the world, but it's making the world a better place, and I'd feel ashamed if I just spent that time watching Netflix at home instead of doing some good at the same time. I also donated bone marrow in 2008, so that was a little more of a if you can help and don't, and bad things happen, it's your fault situation, as I was the best available match in the entire world for my recipient. That was a little thing to me, but a life-changing thing for that person's family. Recognize and thank a person for their help/efforts, no matter how small a task may seem. I found this really helpful as a bar manager at festivals. When you have crazy 14-hour shifts, just telling people "Hey man, thanks for restocking the fridge," really goes a long way. Purple Heart. I pick up a few pieces of trash each time I walk my dog. It's a very tiny thing, but I like to think it adds up. I do the same sort of thing on my block. There's a little bodega on the corner and it gets a lot of foot traffic, so there's constantly crap on the ground. This isn't the best neighborhood, but all the people on my block, except the people to the right of me, take good care of their property. I'm sure it bugs them too. Wait for people that get left behind. No bro, left behind. I used to get left behind at family lunches and dinners, as I am a slow eater. An uncle of mine started staying with me till I finished my food. Probably cost him some time but meant a lot for me.